Hello again to all you wonderful smelling people out there, and welcome back to another episode of Mags Frags, your ultimate destination for all things fragrance. My name's Paul, and today we're diving into the thrilling world of Ducati, a motorcycle brand synonymous with power, style and Italian craftsmanship. But unfortunately, it's not an uber cool Panigale V4 motorcycle that I'm going to be reviewing today, but instead we're exploring two fantastic fragrances carrying the famous Ducati brand name. This one is Ducati Sport that launched in 2018, and this one is Ducati Ice, which came out the following year in 2019. Each one of these scents captures a different aspect of the Ducati spirit, whether it's the adrenaline of the racetrack or just the refreshing coolness of a Sunday morning ride. Both of these come in eau de toilette concentration, and I picked them up a few weeks ago now on Amazon for £29.99 each. But at the time of recording this video, they're now on offer on the Notino website, priced at just £20.48 each, which I've got to say is a steal for a 100ml fragrance, and you struggle to pick up even a Middle Eastern copycat scent for that kind of price these days. Okay, so we're going to kick things off today with the sport version, and this is a really well crafted amber fougere that comes in a sleek and modern packaging design, mirroring the aesthetic of the Ducati motorbikes themselves. The box has a matte red soft touch finish and features gloss white branding on the front. There's a little hologram authenticity sticker around the back, and down the bottom is where you'll find the batch code, which is L308210 on this particular one. The bottle itself looks absolutely beautiful in this translucent red glass and the angular shape with the Ducati Sport branding running through the centre. You get a silver slide-on cap with a Ducati emblem embossed into the top of it, and then the chrome atomizer delivers a really nice, smooth and punchy blast of juice. The presentation on these are simple but gorgeous to look at, and it feels really comfortable in your hand and really well put together. Okay, so into the note breakdown, and the top notes in this are lavender, bergamot and rosemary. In the heart, we've got violet leaf, sandalwood and geranium, and the base notes in this one are patchouli, amber and vanilla. Yes, so although this is classed as a sport fragrance, the first thing that I noticed was a fair amount of sweetness which came straight through from the amber and the vanilla in the base. And like many other sport style scents, this doesn't have the usual explosion of zesty yet fresh citruses from the initial spray. Instead, the freshness comes from a blend of lavender, rosemary and bergamot, and these top notes provide more of a fresh herbal accord, which comes off slightly camphorous, so for the first couple of minutes it smells quite medicinal and sharp, which in my opinion brings an interesting complexity to the opening. You still get a vibrant, uplifting burst of energy, but it's more of an outdoorsy floral freshness with a sweet ambery warmth in the background right from the start. But as it dries down and it transitions through into the heart of the scent, the sharpness of those wild florals fades away slightly, and it becomes much more of a harmonious, calming scent with a clean and soapy character. You still get a hint of minty green freshness from the violet leaf and the geranium, but it's the creamy sandalwood that just settles everything down. And by the time the vanilla and the amber have completely come through, maybe after the first half an hour or so, it turns into a really smooth, sweet aroma that would be more suited to wear in a stylish restaurant rather than a sporting activity. It's a really easy to wear fragrance that's extremely versatile. And although there's nothing really unique about the dry down, it's a solid, likeable aroma that'll suit absolutely any situation all year round. The performance on this seems to be okay, but it's certainly not a powerhouse. It starts out quite strong for the first hour or so, but once it dries down, it sits quite close to the skin and has a much softer projection. It's not one that screams for attention, but you will catch nice subtle wafts of it as you move around for the first couple of hours. After maybe 3 or 4 hours, I can no longer smell it on myself, but that doesn't necessarily mean that people around me won't be able to smell it on me. And for a fragrance costing around the £20 mark, it offers way more than enough, and you can always afford to give yourself a few extra sprays throughout the day if it does wear off. It's about as versatile as you're ever going to get, and it's fresh enough to wear casually as an everyday work scent, but it's also sweet enough to wear as an evening scent dressed up. So if you're on a tighter budget and you want a great no-frills all-rounder to cover all bases, then I would say this is a really a decent one to go for.
Greatness is in my genetics. Rely on me, you never regret it.
Okay, so now let's move on to the Ducati Ice, which is a citrus woody aromatic, and it comes in an opaque all-white bottle with red branding this time. The box gets a sporty looking multicoloured Go Faster stripe design, and this time it's all gloss rather than having the soft touch matte finish. The top notes in this are tangerine, lemon and bergamot. In the heart we've got lavender, sage and geranium, and the base notes in this are cedar, vetiver and musk. Okay, so this ice flanker is instantly more effervescent and refreshing off the top over the sport version. And this one gets the sparkling citruses up top as well as the wild florals, but it doesn't have anywhere near as much sweetness as what you get in the sport. So it actually smells more like a sports fragrance than the Ducati Sport version does, in my opinion. It starts out very crisp and sharp, and this again has a green herbal accord. But the zesty citrus notes also bring a watery aquatic character, so it's perfect for the spring and summer months, or to wear as a gym scent when you're looking for maximum cooling effect with a mint-like freshness. There is a touch of sweetness from the tangerine, but this is definitely a more greener and herbal scent profile. The dry down is more woody and earthy once the vetiver and cedar start to make an appearance, but this retains its freshness pretty much from start to finish. I'd say that out of the two, I prefer the overall aroma that you get with the sport version, and I think it'd be a better all-round scent for like day-to-day wear. But this ice works better as an out-and-out sports and gym scent, and it's so fresh that I think even it'd help you breathe a bit easier during a workout or when you're doing any type of exercise. I also think this projects a bit more with it having a brighter, sharper scent profile, although again, it doesn't last much past the 3 to 4 hour mark. But I'd say that both of these are really good quality for the price that you pay. And for £20, it's pretty unfair to expect any more than what these two give you. But if I had to choose one, I would probably go for the Sport. It's a really nice, mass-appealing scent that I can't see anyone disliking. They both smell quite different though, so for just over £40, you can own both and have two really decent 100ml fragrances that are going to cover you all year round for basically any situation. Okay, so once again, that's about it for today's little review, but coming up in the next one, I've got another trip down memory lane for you with 7 low-cost 1980s and 90s retro fragrances that all cost under £30 each now, so I'll be letting you know if any of them are still worth buying and wearing today in 2024. And if you haven't already seen the first one that I did, then it should be appearing in the top corner of your screen right about now, so don't forget to also check that video out. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for tuning in today, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Bye-bye for now.